I've got kind of a nasty little repair to do here today. If you look up in here, you can see there's some plumbing. It was a plumbing leak that had probably been kind of a slow leak. They did a rough job cutting out the piece of drywall, and now I'm here to patch it up. It's just half-inch drywall. I'm going to square it up and put a little furring for backing and make this look really good really quickly. What I'm doing here is I'm actually putting a new piece of drywall in, of course, and I've cut it a little larger. Instead of doing measuring and then marking it out, I cut the piece, put it up where I want it, and then I just take a pencil and I trace around it. So now I've got that marked out. Just taking a utility saw, and I'm going to cut this damaged area out. Okay, I've got the damaged area all removed. Now I'm going to actually put some furring strips behind here, and I'm going to fasten them in place by screwing through the drywall into these furring strips, and this will be what I attach the repair piece of drywall to. So this screw is going right through the drywall and into the I'm just going to check, make sure this piece fits. It fits really well. So I'm just going to fasten this into those furring strips that I just put behind the drywall. Taking my utility knife, I'm just going to remove any loose material along the edges of this repair. Now what I'm using for my tape is the fiberglass mesh tape, the self-adhesive fiberglass mesh. I'm just putting this right over the seams. I'm going to embed this tape in a setting compound. So, and you don't have to. You could embed it in a regular all-purpose compound. But the reason I'm using a setting compound today is I want to get more than one coat on it. So, fiberglass mesh. I have some gaps here, and I'm not pre-filling them because I'm using the mesh. So when I put compound in it, it's going to go right through and fill those gaps. I'm not worried about that. I have a few little cracks on the wall here I'm going to fix as well. There, that's all set. Now I'm going to just mix up some setting compound and put the first coat over this repair. There, that's all set. Now I'm going to just mix up some setting compound and put the first coat over. This is the setting compound that I'm using. It's an Easy Sand 45. In other words, I'm going to have about 45 minutes to work with. I add some water. I already have some water in my pan. So I just sprinkle it into the pan. It's really looking pretty good. That's about the consistency of compound out of a bucket. So that's what I'm going to. First thing I'm going to do is I have an inside corner here that I'm going to put some paper tape on. So I'll put a little bit of compound in there. Just some pre-creased paper tape. Push it right into the compound and then embed it nice and tight. Remember I said before that there are a little bit of gaps between around the edges of this repair. This is what I'm doing now is I'm just pushing the setting compound right through. Putting a lot of pressure on it, pushing it through the tape and filling that gap that I had there. So that's going to be really nice. Now I'm just going to take some more of this setting compound and just start blending this area in right now. Start blending it in, building it up, but not creating much of a bump. I want to minimize any bump that I'm creating here. Be easier to hide. So right now I'm just putting the compound on. Now, once I get it all as much on as I think I'm going to need, I'm going to start smoothing it. That's what I'm going to start doing now. See, I'm just smoothing that compound in, blending it in. Keeping the edges feathered. This is a setting compound, so I'm going to be able to put another coat on this while I'm here today. All I've got to do is wait for it to set up, which is probably going to be 45 minutes or so. It's still the first day that I'm here working. It's been a couple of hours since I put the setting compound on here to embed my tape over this nice little repair. And I'm just going to use a regular all-purpose compound to apply another coat over all of this today. This will allow me to put a nice fill coat over the top of this, so that all I'm really going to have to do when I come back in a day or so is put the finished coat over the top of this. It's going to be just a relatively thin coat of the regular all-purpose type compound, a drying type compound. I'm actually using a lightweight for this finished coat. Well, actually this is not a finished coat. This is what I call the fill coat. This will be the same compound that I'm going to use next time I come as well. So I've got a generous amount on there. Now I'm just going to start smoothing it out. Using my wider taping knife. Keep those edges feathered in nicely. All right, I'm happy with that. It's not perfect, but I have a nice fill coat over the top of it. So now once this dries, I'm gonna come in and sand it to put my finish coat over it. It's important that I get enough compound on here today and to get it relatively smooth as well.